Hi William, my name is Nathan. I've got a Primo. Looks like you're working. I got some trouble. I'm relatively new to this machine, and I only speak English. I'm not sure what your native language is, so hopefully your English is better than my anything, because I speak English and bad English and enough French to cuss, and that's about it. So you were looking at when you were moving this by hand, you were getting rust spots and binding up. And I think what you're seeing is actually normal for having the machine powered off. When everything is powered off and the stepper motors are powered off, everything rests on these two pivot points. So one there, one there. And if I push on the axis tube, it allows me, if I'm not doing absolutely perfect even, which is hard to do, it allows me to torque the tube one direction or the other, which is going to drive one of these up, and this one's going to lag behind, and that's going to allow for some binding. And I can force my way through it, but it's really not, it's going to feel like something's wrong when it's probably not. The only way to get around from that would be to replace the trucks and our single point access or pivot point here with something that has a second attaching point out here, so that we've got two spots, so that it would not allow that. It would be a bit of a problem at that point, because everything would rely on this alignment being absolutely perfect at all times in order to square out the machine, because there'd be no way to adjust it. Versus right now, using the dual end stops, which is this one's set up to do, allows one motor to hit the end stop and then pivot while the other motor continues on to hit its end stop, and then set that point, and the machine just squared itself. So what you're seeing, I think right now, and right now I'm powered up, so right now I can't do any torquing whatsoever because everything is being held by the four stepper motors. So that's absolutely solid. I can overpower it, but I don't want to. If I turn the stepper motors off and cut power to them, now I'm nice and free and everything. So if I push in the middle, it's going to do a pretty good job moving. But if I torque it at all, I just bound up on that side over there. So just being able to torque this tube back and forth and rock one side and leave the other behind is causing that problem. But once everything is powered up, and the stepper motors and everything activate, then we've got 2 points that are actually being pulling versus me trying to push it just in the middle. So now I've got 2 solid points of contact to keep everything nice and squared out. And again, can't torque that at all. So I think what you're seeing is probably normal. And I think once you get powered everything and you fire it up for the first time, it'll lock itself together fairly solid. So it's a bit of a design flaw, because it feels like it shouldn't be able to move, but it has to because of the way that the ends are attached. But it also gives us the ability to, again, using the end stops, square everything out and let the tube be slightly out of whack and then square itself as we go. So it doesn't rely so much on absolute perfect construction. It gives us a little bit of error room, basically. So anyway, I think once you get power to it, you'll probably be okay. And hopefully you are. If not, post again, and someone more knowledgeable than me will probably come along and help you out. But I think you're going to be all right. So thanks.